of Apples and Magic by Legion of Pony, of Revelations, Part 2. Twilight and Applejack sat inside Sweet Apple Acre's humble dining room, not for the first time, and certainly not for the last, sharing a meal together with the Apple clan again. Their bellies soon to be happily stuffed with country-style victuals, meals that Twilight could never quite understand how something so simple to make could be so delicious. "Boy, howdy, Granny. You sure did go all out tonight, didn't ya?" Applejack asked, looking over the grand spread that would be more fitting on the ruling princess's royal banquet table rather than their humble dining table. "Aw, when I heard dear Twilight was coming over for supper, I couldn't help but make her something special," Granny said, smiling to the named. Since she and Applejack had started dating, Granny had started viewing Twilight more and more like a long-lost granddaughter, treating her to special treats, and like one of her own kin, something that Twilight had only too happily accepted. "You didn't have to, Mrs. Apple, but thank you," Twilight said with a smile, before Granny Smith then waved her hoof over the table. "Ain't none, sweetie. Go ahead and dig in. Y'all look hungry." Near the end of their meal, Twilight looked over to Applejack and gave a gentle cock of the head and received a nod. At that, Twilight levitated her fork and gently clanged it on the glass cups, both of which the apples reserved for special occasions, or visiting guests of honor. As she was a princess by title, she was always treated like royalty, despite always requesting not to be. At the gentle tings of metal on the glass breaking the silence, the other family members' ears perked up, all looking to Twilight, who then smiled and placed the fork back down. "Excuse me if I'm interrupting anything, but Applejack and I have something we would like to tell you," she said, looking to her fiancé and smiling. Both then stood. "We're getting married," Applejack said suddenly, looking over her kin's face as she did. She saw Granny Smith's and Apple Bloom's faces light up, but Big Mac remained his stoic self. "Oh my God, I'm gonna be a sister-in-law!" Apple Bloom shouted in excitement almost immediately after the words had been spoken, virtually squirming out of her seat in excitement. "Well, I was kind of hoping for a few grandbabies from you, Applejack, but as long as you two are happy, I'm happy for you too," Granny Smith said with a hint of disappointment, mixed in with her happy tones at the fact. The same she had also displayed to each of them individually when Twilight and Applejack both had asked the matriarch of the family's blessing to marry the other in private. She was indeed happy that they wanted to share their life together, but was upset that their pairing would bear no fruit. It was impossible for two mares to bear foals of their own after all, to her knowledge. Twilight's own mother and father had reacted much the same when they were told of their engagement, but all of them were assured they would be getting their grandfoals, and soon. "Bro, I'd like for you to be my best stallion, and Apple Bloom, I'd like for you and your pals to be my flower ponies," Applejack said, getting a smile and a nod from Big Mac as he accepted. Apple Bloom once more nearly fell off her chair nodding so hard. After discussing briefly when they were planning on the marriage occurring and what they needed to do, a thought struck Big Mac. "Sis, ain't you always said you wanted lots of foals?" Big Mac asked in his calm, booming voice, looking to his sister, then her chosen mate. "And don't that require a stallion to make the foals?" As this was asked, Twilight opened her mouth to explain exactly how they were going to get the foals every pony so desired, before Applejack saw it in her eyes and put her hoof up, giving a gentle shake of her head to silence her. It would be far too embarrassing to tell her family that Twilight could grow either of them a penis on the man. "I can assure ya, Twilight has found a way for us to have foals," Applejack said, hoping it would be left at that. "Oh yeah? And how's that?" Apple Bloom asked, the ever-curious nature of a foal, regardless of the subject matter, making her sister wince. All the other family members leaned in, also clearly wondering the same thing. "Well, it involves some very special magic. Let's just leave it at that, if y'all don't mind," Applejack said, a deep blush forming as memories of just how special that magic could be came back to her, and at quite an inappropriate time. Satisfied with the promise of them having more foals in the family in time, no matter how strange the idea of two mares having them was to the tradition-based Earth Pony family, The other ponies relented and went back to their meal. After all, unicorn magic was capable of things Earth ponies could never understand, with alicorn magic even more so. So they didn't ask for elaboration. After dinner and dessert, a homemade strawberry cream tart were finished. The family retired to the family room, Apple Bloom having volunteered to clean the dishes. As they sat and spoke amiably about the wedding plans, the questions of where their foals would come from once more came up. This time without the grace of Hole present to impede such a mature subject from being explored among adults. So sis, where exactly are them foals you're talking about coming from? Big Mac once more had asked, loving since their foalhood to make Applejack squirm at uncomfortable subjects. Yeah, how can two mares have a foal together? Granny Smith backed him up, herself curious on the strange suggestion. Even if the answer given was one she could understand, at least it would sate her curiosity. Twilight looked to Applejack, her eyes almost pleading to tell them exactly how the spell worked, but once more received a blush and a frantic shake of her head. No, from Applejack. Well, ain't like a mare can just grow a cock with magic, right? Big Mac joked, laughing as he unknowingly slammed the nail right on the head. Applejack went absolutely rigid, then sighed, her family staring at her reaction to the joke. Her expression had told them too much to go back now. Well, cat's out of the bag now. All right, Twilight, you can tell them. Twilight clopped her hooves excitedly. All right, well, by genetically manipulating the chromosomes of a mare's lower abdomen temporarily, by the midway point of Twilight's speech on the intricacies of just how she could use her magic to give herself or his sister a fully functioning set of stallion genitals, Big Mac's blush was burning hot, making him wish he had just kept his big mouth shut. The smirk on Applejack's face made the whole situation even worse. The next day, Twilight and Applejack headed to Canterlot, having arranged to meet with Twilight's parents, Twilight Velvet and Nightlight. The two lived in a quaint Canterlot residence near Canterlot Castle. Quite a lovely view of the majestic building, making the lot a rather premium valued estate. Oh, hello, dears. Come in, Velvet said as she entered the door, inviting the two in, offering a glass of tea to both as she invited them to the living room. Nightlight was sitting at his desk, looking over one of his wife's manuscript or another, before hearing the commotion of greetings and chatter from his wife and daughter, as well as the pony he knew as Applejack and one of Twilight's closest friends, having stood to greet them all and giving Twilight a hug. Mom, Dad, I know you've met Applejack many times before, Twilight said, holding a hoof to her fiancé, and her parents nodding their greetings. Well, we came here to make an announcement. Mom, Dad, Applejack is my fiancé. We're getting married. Velvet and Night were stunned at first, but when the news sunk in, both virtually lunged to hug their daughter, knocking heads in the process, backing away, rubbing their heads. The two laughed, and Twilight joined in, Applejack giving a few contributing chuckles. Velvet then took the first hug, while Night waited for his turn. After both mares received their congratulatory hugs, the most obvious question was asked. So, when are you two going to be joined in marriage? Oh, I can't wait for the wedding,